welcome to another night of racing here in Hennessy. I am hosting Speed Racer this stream. Yet again, I have nobody with me. Shout out to all my fellow streamers who are not here. um, but nonetheless, I got a race tonight at Circuit of the Americas. Gonna be a fun one. Circuit of the Americas, I'm a bit more familiar with because of my stock car side. NASCAR's raced at Cota for a couple seasons now, so I know a little bit of that track from both this side and that side, and I'm excited to see how these drivers tackle this racetrack tonight. We'll get a quick look at points in a sec, but I think it's still between Jackson Altman and Clay. I forget who was getting the win last week at this moment in time. It'll come back to me in a second. Well, was it Clay? I think it might have been Clay. Clay went from the back to the front twice and won the race, if I recall, on the last lap pass in Australia. That's right. Clay getting the win last week. And quick look at the driver standings. Clay is now taking the points lead with a couple rough races from Jackson. Speaking of Jackson, he's P2. And really far behind is Killer in P3, Tiger in P4, Electric Blade in 5th, Fortnite Racing in 6th. Third place finisher from last week, LD Allen, is in P7. Fistbuster in P8. And that pretty much rounds out the full-time F1 Division 1 drivers in the top 10. And as for constructor standings, it's still pretty much some of the same. Red Bull's maintaining their dominance they've had this season. Ferrari in P2, Haas in P3, Alpine in P4. Ferrari slowly making their way up. They're in P5, closer to Alpine, only 3 points. Williams in P6, McLaren P7, Mercedes in P8, Aston Martin in P9. And in 10th place, those Alfa Romeos still looking for just some good runs to hopefully get out of last place. That is pretty much it. Not much has changed. So, however, I think this points battle will be interesting between Jackson and Clay. They've been swapping back and forth most of the season. I think Jackson is shown to be the faster of the two. However, I think Clay has shown more consistency, which is what's put him in the lead. So we got a few minutes. This will be a 20-lap race with a typical short qualifying session, so grab your popcorn, grab your soda. I'm more of a Pepsi person, as you're going to be sitting here for a good part of 40 minutes, 50 minutes, about an hour. If you watch this whole thing, if you're tuning in, welcome. Got a few drivers trickling in here. Looks like we have a field of 13 as of right now. Much larger field than last week, which is always nice to see. Wish that came for the booth as well, but needless to say, excited for this race. Glad drivers are joining. Hopefully we get this going soon. My pick for the race and the pole is Jackson Altman, because I think he knows that he's going to need a response for Clay's few good races here, but we'll just have to wait and see. Unfortunately, there's only so much to cover, and only I can be the one covering it, so if you get some awkward silence, that is why. But hopefully this race gets going here soon. Kind of curious to see how Tiger NASCAR will do this week as well. him and Heredia have both turned it on speed-wise lately, but they haven't got to finish with it. And I don't see Fortnite Racing, which worries me a little bit because he's been on the decline just a tad, nothing insane. Keep in mind his quote-unquote decline still has him as one of the best drivers here, but you can tell when a driver is trending downwards and trending upwards, or maybe just neutral. I think Clay with the points lead is probably in the best spot because he's trending up and has the points lead. As qualifying is about to finally get underway. Also notice Porty Dude has a little low on the internet, so hopefully he doesn't like it during the race. And of course, people aren't ready at the last second, because why would they want to get this going? I presume they're waiting on people. I think we might have a couple of reserve drivers tonight. Don't know who they are as of this moment. I am currently looking though. Let's see who we might be waiting on. Why would my phone want to load the first time? I don't know. There we go. Now I can see who we're waiting on. Looks like we are trying to get Spin and Win to change cars. So Spin and Win, if you are listening to the people in Discord or me, looks like he's readied up and going though, so I think they might have it figured out now. Also, in case you're wondering, no, there is no Mercedes cars, so kind of weird. Expected at least one of them to race. Looks like that's not going to be happening. This qualifying gets underway. Very curious to see how these cars perform here. I know Cota is very big on straightaways and braking points, but with this new Formula 1 car, it could make the corners a little bit tougher too. As you can see, Cota does have some bends, so all it takes is a little bend in the right spot and you're doing a 720 in a not so fun way. This looks like qualifying is underway. And I have a feeling I already know who's going to go on track first. Is it your boy, Porty Dude, like it is every week? Come on. No, it is a Haas driver. Is that Alan? It is Alan. We'll watch Alan, since he's first. Full track map. Looks like those Ferraris are following out Alan. I'm gonna wait a second. He burned some of his ERS on his out lap, which I don't think is smart, so I think he's just kind of hoping that charges some. Or, he can just burn more of it on his outlap. Because, who needs that when you're actually doing your lap? You just burn it all in this lap. Not sure his thinking behind that, but if he wins pole, I mean, prove me wrong, but every fast lap I've seen in this league has been with ERS at full 100% to start the lap, so I'm not sure what this is going to do for him, but it doesn't hurt to try something, I guess, if you're 7th in points coming off of a podium finish. Plus it is just qualifying. You got 15 minutes left in the session. He can make one lap and improve on it later in the session. Here he is on this uphill. Go from 183 down to 50 just like that. Through this part of the track, there's a lot of bend through this part. On pretty fast. Looks a little tight though. Couldn't quite put the hammer down like he wants to. Gonna drive through this part of the track into another very heavy braking zone. Looks like he got through there smoothly. This is a very long straightaway. I'd say he hits 190 before it starts braking. 191, 192, 193, about 194 miles per hour. Then we go through some more bends. Little loop-de-loop. Over here. Short straightaway. Another U-looking bend. As he spins, don't think that was planned. Luckily, got pointed back in the right direction, I guess so. But oh man, Alan, Alan, that's not good. Well, hopefully. Oh no, that's Furch. So no, am I blind? No, it's Tiger. Oh, they're pitting anyway. And Clay with a 134.3. That's fastest lap right now. So we're going to watch Jackson Ullman from wherever he's on track. Hold on a second. I'm going to add. All right. Sorry about that. We had some people volunteer. Jackson now on pole with his lap 134.2. I assumed he'd be there. I'm going to actually do something here where cars are a little loud. Still want to be hearing them as they're awesome sounds, but we don't want to be blasted. There we go. Furch with 138.1. As we welcome in guy who doesn't have the game, but nonetheless, Big Jim. You can watch the stream and you can still kind of help me. You won the Martinsville
Yes, I
race last
can.
night, and I know you have F1 insight somewhat, so welcome.
Well, thank you. I love watching these F1 streams. I know that I'm not very active in the comment section, but I am there. I have watched them, so I know a little about how fast these guys are. And
Yeah.
Jackson invited me to play the game, so I don't have it, Jackson. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I kind of have the same kind of thing where, like, if I'm gonna be just sitting in a party watching the stream, I might as well be in the party on the stream, know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
that's what I do every
I
week.
know exactly what you mean.
As Killer's just revving the crap out of his engine, I don't think that's gonna help.
My man loves doing that in iRacing too. He'll just freaking
He just
go
lets her
9,000
rip.
RPM on it.
That's what he's doing right now too, or
Who
was
needs who
doing.
needs engines?
He turned
Just gotta
on
warm them up a little bit.
he turned on ERS and just let her rip. So not only did he burn his engine, but he's burned his battery.
Oh, that's great.
You
Well,
could
you
call
know what they
that
say, if you're not using everything, you're not trying.
you
And Frank might not be trying for qualifying. We don't know. But draining the ERS is not going to help you.
you could call that a real qualifying killer.
Oh, I'm gonna have to like make a drinking game or something. Non-alcoholic, by the way. Non-alcoholic drinking game. Every time you make a wise crack or a joke, the stream watchers have to drink.
Well, I think you'd be slammed by the time the stream were done if you made that an
Uh,
alcoholic drinking game.
slammed, yeah, slammed off a Mountain Dew. I'd love to see it.
Well, that's just Jake.
Speaking of, is he going to be joining us in the broadcast booth tonight?
No. I just use Jake because I know he's one guy who's not. And if he does join and he does get home from work early, he's good. And because I have to either create a public party, create it with somebody, I just choose Jake. Um, I also didn't know I was going to be joining tonight, so that's why I did that. But you know,
Makes sense. It looks like we have just went under about 8 minutes and 30 seconds into qualifying, and Jackson Altman, like you said, Speed, holding serve at the fastest lap in Q1. I think it's speed qualifying, so I don't think there's no Q1 and Q2, right?
yeah, there's just one queue, and it's just, the timer on the top left there is when it ends. As
Cool.
of course, one of the McLarens going too slow in a sector is gonna take away the timer as I'm trying to talk about it. So we have 8 minutes left in queue. All these guys have enough. Oh my. Who is it? Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Anyways. Oh my. Darludo. Don't be sorry. Just be better.
Disqualified for going the wrong way. Electric blade going the wrong way on the course, and that's going to end his chance of qualifying for this thing. But I think he just starts last. There are no like disqualifies from the race, correct?
Not in quali, but in the you just basically get a start at the tail end. Kind of surprised no Ferraris laid down a lap yet. Same thing with the McLarens.
That is surprising. I know Tiger loves this place. He loves anything that has to do with Texas. He loves Texas Motor Speedway and NASCAR. He loves Circuit of the Americas here in Formula One. And he hasn't put a lap down yet, him or Heredia. So those guys are going to be fast. I imagine they know something we don't.
If I had to guess with the way they're running now, I think they're just waiting until it gets later in the session, and then they're gonna pit, come out, run their lap, and lock it in.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's
Kluka putting down a fiery lap with a 2:07.561.
oh, Jackson Altman says, "Who needs to wait? I can just improve my lap now." Uh, I just don't understand. Like, I don't think you will understand either because you know even less about F1 than I do. But
Yep.
if you are going to wait to run your lap, why even put your race car on the track? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe that's something with the game. Maybe it doesn't register cooling down the car if you're in pit road. I don't know. I'm sorry, not pit road. They call
The
that
gar-
something
the
else.
the garage.
The garage. There it is. The garage. But yeah, that's a good question, Speed, because I have no answer for you, and I'll probably have no answer for you all night long because I
But
am terrible at Formula One.
to add on to your point there, right? It may not register it cooling down, but even if it doesn't, why do you need it to register cooling down if you don't ever heat it up?
True.
It doesn't make much sense to me. But you know what? Heredia has multiple F1 wins in this league, and I haven't even made a start. So I'm sure he knows something I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A lot of cautions flying. Must be a lot of guys going off the racetrack.
nope.
But
I was gonna say we're at the point in quali where I'm not sure why guys like Jackson and Clay are still on track when they could just pit
yep,
and cool the car
Jackson's in.
down a little bit, and I'm not sure why guys like Tiger and Heredia haven't put a lap in yet.
They're going to wait until the last possible second. I have seen this in Formula One before, F1 2020 and 21, where people wait until the last second to put down their lap, and for some reason that is faster. I don't know if the track actually rubbers up or if that's just, a placebo effect, but those guys are faster when they run later in the run.
Well, just from my knowledge, even from the NASCAR side, what ends up happening is drivers lay rubber down on the racetrack, and on top of that, um, depending on what the settings are and if F1's is realistic, it could even get hotter, which makes the
Hmm.
track slicker and faster and has more grip. So if it's hotter and faster and has more grip and there's a groove in, then I mean it just wouldn't make sense to run earlier. But I don't think a video game is that realistic out there besides iRacing, and this is a game ultimately made by EA Sports. So
Codemasters is a very good company, and a lot of us have been campaigning for them to make NASCAR games, but instead we get stuck with motorsport games, which is the worst alternative we could ever ask for. But no, Codemasters can simulate these kind of conditions. They can dynamic tracks and dynamic weather. I think they can do it, and I think they do it. So those things do play a factor.
I've also noticed while we're talking about playing a factor in the speed, overcasts can also make race cars faster depending on the type of car you're running, which is also a factor right now. Not sure if it'll be overcasty or raining or dry or blue skies or what's happening during the race, but as of right now in qualifying, there is a very clear overcast as we're just watching Clay crawl around the racetrack with low fuel ERS since nobody else has anything better to do. Watch Porchy on his outlap. Why not?
Yeah, get over to Porchy.
We've given Jackson enough and Clay enough view time. Porchy, he's a little bit of a quieter guy. May not be the fastest every week, but by God, is he going to come and show up and try and do the best that he can. Left dead Allen.
He's a very accomplished
Decides to
Formula
retire.
One racer in multiple leagues. So he has a lot of experience. I'm sure he knows this place like the back of his hand. He knows where the breaking points are. I think he'll be up there. I think he'll be pretty fast tonight.
Well, that's just great. And, like, I've noticed this in every part of our league, whether it be anything from racing to even 2K, Madden, every single game we play in this league, no matter what. We are all gods everywhere else we game and perform, but then we all come here and we all meet, and most of us look average.
Yeah, that's how it usually rolls.
This
Like
Portuguese.
Porchy's gonna cool it off a little bit, and he's gonna get going here for his flyer lap.
Not sure why you would not try and get a run off the last corner though.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. He's gonna take a
Any
very wide arc there.
and he's not using any URS.
Okay.
Uh, look.
I'm not gonna ask anything. These guys know better than I do. I don't know what I'm doing, so I can't tell them if they're doing anything right or wrong. He
I
might be doing exactly what he needs to do.
I think if he wanted a good, like his best lap, he should have been a little bit faster on that last straightaway, and he should have been using the RS on the first straightaway of the lap. He wasn't purple through sector 1. Purple basically means personal best. As you can see, Jackson's lap time is in purple. Um, so I don't think it'll be pretty hard for him to not be in the purple for sector 1 and then just come out in sector 2 and just absolutely take a dump on the field.
Yeah, funny enough, Heredia, like you said, the Ferraris didn't put a lap down at all. Heredia
No,
and Tiger, no lap down.
Tiger
Oh,
put in a
Tiger did.
lap P5, but no Heredia, no spin and win, and Darludo obviously DSQ'd early in the run, so I'm not sure what went on there, why he wouldn't even put in a lap, but maybe I guess this is an attempt at a last to first challenge. As
Yeah, that's a
Porchy
bold strategy from those
comes
guys.
around 134.3, that's good enough for a top 3 starting spot, and you know yourself, you've seen that this turn 1 before, as Jackson just says, you know what, let's just improve on that lap even more. But to continue on my point there, anything can happen in turn 1, so starting P3 might not be the worst thing. How
Absolutely not. You do not want to be deep in the pack, it seems, on these restarts. Someone misses the start, or if they're just not quick off the line, it gets very crowded very quickly into turn 1.
However, I think the best and most aggressive driver on starts in this league is the guy who won the pole, Jackson Altman. And he's going to be battling Clay on his outside, who he's battling for the championship. So I don't think he's going to give him a whole ton of room, but, enough to make the corner. It's still lap 1, but I don't think he's going to make it easy for him.
Now, you have to run guys pretty narrow in Formula One. You have to take all the space you can. And if it's anything like real life, it's very hard to pass here. There are plenty of passing opportunities, but it's still pretty difficult to pass at Circuit of the Americas. So it's all about getting out there and setting yourself early in the race and getting yourself into rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple good passing zones. I think there's a couple straightaways that the DRS is used on. I would use those two breaking points as primary passing zones, but if you can get through one of the bendy spots of the track better than somebody else and you want to make a gutsy move with a few laps to go, then I'm sure nobody's watching the stream or commentating is going to complain. However, I think Mark or whoever it is this year in the F1 game might complain when you've tore up his race car and you're going back to the garage and your session is over. Here in F1 we use garage and session.
Garage. Sorry, I'm going to keep doing that. But it's going to be very easy. You're going to have to be conservative, it seems, into turn 1 at least. That's not a very good passing zone. We saw Max and Lewis go at it back in 2021 there, and it got very crowded. Like, I thought they were going to wreck. They did not, but it's going to be about a little bit of conserving your stuff and not getting any damage off the start.
Yeah, even if you're a liberal, you got to conserve at some point in time.
Factual.
But we got 18 seconds until lights are out. Do you got any race picks, Big Jim?
I'm gonna go Tiger. I said it earlier, but I think that this is a home track for him. He has a lot of pride in it, and I think he's gonna come home a winner.
I'm going to pick Jackson Altman. He needs a statement. Lights are turning on, and I guess we're doing
The
a
speed is
formation
definitely gonna
lap.
be there for Jackson.
You normally don't do a formation lap, but I guess this week we've decided, you know what? Let's do one. Why not?
It's a home Grand Prix for a lot of people right here.
I think it's a home Grand Prix for pretty much the whole field.
Oh, somebody just spun off of this. What?
It's the formation lap, Big Jim.
Yeah, but how do you almost spin on formation? I think that was Clay. He just completely slid in turn one.
But
That's how you warm up your tires.
yeah. And I mean, if you're starting on the hards, I'm not sure he is, but if you are, it might not be too bad.
Yeah, true. It could have been strategy. Again, I don't know anything. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. I am an idiot when it comes to Formula One and open-wheeled racing.
Since I usually go over it while after the race has started and I can see it on this formation lap, I'll go over it now. So on the Birch, we literally have not started the race and you've already DSQ'd as of making a point.
That's impressive.
Oh my lord. Anyways, so Jackson Ullman, Electric Blade, Killer, Tiger, Electric, Allen was Furch, but not anymore. Heredia, Spin and Win, Marner, and Logan Aim are on the mediums. So I think they're going to be looking for the medium to long runs. Clay is praying, is hoping this goes long on green. So is Porty Dude and Darludo starting last. And Kluk and Gary said, you know what? Screw it. I don't want to be like everybody else. We're going on the softs.
That's a bold strategy. I don't know exactly what you can do with that strategy, but you're going to have to hope that maybe there's a safety car or something that comes out so you can change tires after 7 or 8 laps.
I was going to say, I don't know if you know what hards, mediums, and softs do, but for those who don't, softs are the softest tire, and they're best for the short run. Mediums, they're the best of both worlds. They're not quite as hard as hards, obviously, but they get the job done for medium runs and make it to the pit stop. And hards, if you have the long run set up and you run hards, it's going to be pretty good long run for you, but in a shorter run, oh my lord, have mercy on my soul. What? Clay. Electric! What are you doing? How do three of you... How?
DSQ'd!
You're the highest division of Formula One in Hennessy, and you cannot do a formation lap. His lights are coming on. Away we go. Jackson Altman, I don't know why we're looking at his wing right now. Thank you, Formula One, but we're underway. Jackson Altman does maintain the lead. Sorry you guys can't see anything else right now. There we go. Porty Dude in P2, Killer in P3, Clay's in P4. Even though he was DSQ'd a few seconds ago, Furch is also back in the field. I'm not sure what's going on. Now Furch is back in last anyway. Who cares, right? Alrighty then. Jackson Altman has opened up a solid lead. I'd say that's about half a second just without taking a guess here. As why would that be a thing? Alright. As we can see, yeah, it's about a second. Killer right there in P3, about a second behind Porty, and Clay about half a second behind as he's battling with Electric Blade, who moves up to P4. Logan's Aim's in Mercedes too. Everybody's switching rides and popping about a left field. We had 13 to start quali, now we're at 16. People just changing rides, coming in the lobby late, DSQing and qualifying in the race and formation laps and coming back, and I don't know what's going on. I just hope the Earth's still round. Nonetheless, though, got a good battle going on. We have a car who looks to be around. That is Heredia in the
Oh,
Ferrari.
wow.
Tragedy
is
is
Heredia.
struck. Meanwhile, back up front, Jackson Altman has a sizable lead over Porchy, but Killer not too far behind, as we do have at least a virtual safety car. Not sure if it's a full safety car, as
This might have to
Heredia
do with Heredia back there.
has DNF'd in the left. Again, not sure if it's a full safety car, but it is definitely a virtual. I think this might benefit the guys who picked the softs. However,
It's still
guys,
a little early. I don't know. I mean, Kluka was on softs. He's back in 14th, so that didn't really help him too much. I don't know what happened to him, but he got shuffled to the back. And the other guy who did softs was... Who was it?
So it was... it was
so
Gary.
Many options.
It was
Yeah,
Gary. And he's in P10, so it didn't really gain them a whole lot. It's very tricky because Porchy Dude started on the hards and he's gained spots. And their guys started in softs and lost spots. So one thing you got to remember, although it's important to pick the right tire strategy, still got to have the speed because we're back under green. So it was a virtual safety car. DRS is also enabled now. Jackson Altman back up to a sizable lead. Killer still hanging around Porchy Dude though.
If Jackson can stay out of DRS, he's going to be just fine. I think that really is the only thing that can keep people with him right now.
For sure. And other than that, pretty calm and cool and collected until Porchy Dude spins out. Porchy Dude from P2 to P8, just like that. Oh, and he spins again. Porchy. Oh, and Alan's doing donuts. So is Kuka.
Oh, boy. Yep, there's a lot of people doing donuts in that corner. Oh, my goodness, that was
is there
three of
some
them.
oil on the track or something?
nobody with damage there,
Alan. Oh, Alan. Meanwhile, Furch is 30 seconds beyond that by himself.
Allen might have damage because he just didn't turn for that corner. Maybe a little wing damage. I'm not 100% sure, but that thing did not look like it turned.
It did not. You know, I was expecting a little bit more of a battle up front, but Jackson Altman, once Clay is praying, fell back to 5th. It's kind of driven away from Killer, but Killer and Tiger both set really fast laps. So, in fact, they were faster than Jackson Altman that lap. So, they keep that up maybe as Kluka and Porchy. Oh, no. Oh, and Alan spins again. Oh, my brother in Christ. But Porchy
Alan's
Dude
having a rough time right now. He's going through it.
from the session and has now left the session. Oh, and we got more time penalties. Marner with a time penalty. Electric Blade now has a time penalty. So does Spin and Win. Electric Days also has a time penalty. Not so good for the electrics right now. Spin and Win goes off track a little bit, I think I saw, but not too sure what's going on there.
Look at that, already 4 people with penalties.
And technically, with that time penalty, that would move Tiger up to P3, but as you can see physically, he's still behind that Mercedes and Electric Blade.
He's in DRS right now.
Speaking of in DRS, Killer, he is gained on Jackson Altman.
There was a big mistake from Jackson up front. Not sure what happened, but he must have wiggled or something getting into that long braking zone because Killer's right
Oh,
on him.
killer! No! No!
I didn't say anything.
The broadcaster's curse is real. Oh my goodness gracious.
Good thing he ghosted, or he would be in heaven right now because he's been clocked by like 5 different race cars.
Oh, and Logan Aim gets a time penalty. But one guy we haven't talked about, and hopefully we don't jinx him, Tiger NASCAR. You picked him to win. He does have a lot of speed, and he's up to P3 now.
And he's driving his favorite car. He's driving a Ferrari. He hates this team. He hates their strategists, but he loves the car. He loves Charles Leclerc. He is trying to do him proud tonight.
Yeah. I'm To be honest, I'm more, if I had to pick a driver right now in F1, I'd probably say I'm more of a George Russell person, but
I respect that. George Russell is cool. I'm a Yuki Tsunoda fan.
okay.
No, not really. I'm a Max Verstappen fan.
Yeah.
Cue the booze, but I like the guy, so.
I don't think you'd get as many boos as a Lewis Hamilton fan.
No, I think you will. I think Max's fan base has gotten a bad reputation, especially after cheating in one of the races by throwing a flare on the racetrack. That was not brilliant.
Hmm. But as brilliant as being a Browns fan. Um,
Go Browns.
yeah, go Browns. As a Browns fan, yeah, we're doing great. Tiger though, go back to him. He's catching electric blade slowly. Slowly.
I imagine the guy in the best position right now, 1.9 seconds back of Tiger, is Clay. On that hard compound, there is a mandatory compound change, and he's obviously going to go to either medium or soft. And all these other guys are going to be on hards, so if he can keep a good gap, he should be good on the cycle.
I would have to presume he stays on the hards for this run, and then on the next run he switches to the mediums.
Yeah, that would make the most sense, I would think.
The softs, they're fast in the short run. If you get a late race restart via safety car, you can go in the softs, but race goes under green and everything goes as we would plan, you'd want to be on the mediums. So
Well, any sort of safety car where guys can pit is going to hurt Clay because everyone, if it's a late race one, everyone's going to go to the soft, and that will basically take away any advantage he had by starting on the hard because the compound change will be medium to soft for those guys that were on mediums to start. So that wouldn't be the best. But right now, if it stays green, which it looks like everyone's single filed out and minding their P's and Q's, Clay's going to be in a good position.
yeah. One thing I do want to point out is Electric Blade ain't having too bad of a race so far. P2, he's gaining time on Jackson here and there, but has that pesky time penalty, so he's going to need to gain this position on Jackson and then 3 more seconds on top of that to actually officially take the lead. Passing Jackson is challenging enough, but getting that type of gap after is also pretty tough. Also seem to notice that Tiger, with no time penalty, is catching Electric Blade slowly but surely as well. So I'm expecting a 3-car battle for the lead here shortly.
Well, make it 5 people that now have no, 6, sorry, 6 people with time penalties. It's always Gary getting one.
Meaning with 14 drivers, we're only one away from having half the field with a time penalty.
That'd be pretty cool.
For us.
Yeah, for any spectator, we like seeing the chaos, but for these guys, they wouldn't like that.
I really like how Tiger's arcing these bendy corners.
Mm-hmm. He has a lot of practice on this thing. on this place.
Only problem is, I think he just isn't carrying the speed he wants to. DRS is
He might
enabled
also
though.
not be pushing right now. You don't want to push the tires off of it, so he might just be sitting back there and knowing that right now he's in a good position. There's no reason to hurt the tires too much.
Oh, spin and win.
Electric Blade is there. He's only
Yeah.
3/10 behind.
All right, Jim, can you take over for a second?
All right, yes, I can take over, but I'm going to be a little bit delayed, so apologies here, folks. I'm watching this stream from my phone. It's still Jackson Altman out front as he makes a mistake. Here comes Electric Blade. He's going to take advantage of that and take the point here at Circuit of the Americas. Tiger's going to look for the second place position here, going into whatever the heck that corner is. But he's not going to be able to make it. He's going to be in DRS, though, and try it for this long straightaway. DRS for Jackson Altman. DRS for Tiger NASCAR. It's a DRS train here for the top three. And it doesn't look like any move is going to be made there. It is still the Aston Martin leading the Red Bull and the Ferrari. None of us picked Electric Blade up here in the booth, but he is looking mighty strong right now. Starting to kind of put a little bit of a gap there on Jackson Altman. Don't look too far. That's Clay in P4. He is on the hard compound. Must be starting to work in a little bit because he is only 3/10 behind Tiger. Also in the DRS.
Keyword only as I return. Electric Blade now in point, but as I mentioned earlier, needs that 3-second gap, and he's only at 7/10 right now. So, although physically in the lead, technically he needs 2 seconds and 4/10 to actually overtake Jackson Altman.
Battle for second is on, though. Tiger is there.
Yeah, and if
Can't
Tiger knows
see
if
it
he
right now.
passes Jackson with the time penalty of Electric Blade, he would take the lead momentarily as Kluka retires.
That is the fourth retirement. And that leaves only 12 cars on the racetrack.
As they work around some lap traffic as well.
Wow. RIP to someone who gets lapped after
9 laps
how
at
many
Cota.
laps are we in?
As we have a
9
caution.
laps.
I see the yellow dot, so I think that is a full actual safety car here.
Ooh. That might be rough for Clay.
Might be. Oh, Furch. That is 6 drivers with the time penalty, 12 still racing. Therefore, we are officially at half the field running with a time penalty. Ooh, some interesting strategy here. A lot of people switch to the hards. With
You gotta do
only
that compound change.
17 laps to go. Do you think they're going to pit the rest of this race?
No, I think this will be your final pit stop. Unless there's another safety car and these guys can get on the softs, but right now you just change to the compound that you need to. Clay's going to come down probably and change to the mediums.
If you're a baseball fan, you aren't missing much in the Padres Mets game, as the Mets are getting their faces absolutely kicked in 7-1 by the San Diego Padres. Definitely disappointing for them, as they went 101-61, but with the new rule in the MLB this year, they are not down and out quite yet. They still have to lose to the Padres twice. And my Blue Jays lost to the Mariners.
Best of 3.
So that's spectacular. Shout out Captain Dead Dad, but also screw you for being a Mariners fan. Thank you.
Also, let's give a shout out to the 6 people watching the stream right now. Ghost, I see you in there. Jackson, I don't know if you're still watching. You're in the race, so I doubt you're still watching. Kluka, I see you there. Roman Furchi, is that a
That is
Furchinator?
Furchinator. Yep.
Okay.
Roman's Furch's first name is Roman, and then Furchy.
Gotcha.
That's
Well, thank y'all for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. Formula One at Circuit of the Americas.
Formula.
Watching it here on Hennessy.
Yep. Finally joined somebody in the Hennessy F1 booth. Thank God. When I saw your message.
Where's Ballstick? I'm wondering where Ballstick is.
Probably messing with his ball stick.
Oh. All right. Well, it looks like safety car might be coming off this time. Maybe.
No.
That safety car can book it too, man. That thing can go like 90 miles per hour around the corners. I don't know what they had that thing trimmed out to, but it's basically a race car.
Kluka wants to be added. Do we let him in?
I mean, that's up to you.
You know what? I think we're okay with having a third person, right? Let's get a third person in here.
Maybe he can actually watch the race because I'm watching it on a 20-second delay here on the YouTube channel because I don't have.
He sure can. So we'll
there
have
we go.
Somebody else live in here with me as well, and we'll have another voice. So here is Kluka.
How's it going, guys?
Welcome.
Oh, man.
Kluka, I think you're the first time driver here to get a good, I wouldn't say a good finish, but I think you've got the best finish of the drivers who've been in the booth early while being in the race.
Yeah.
P13, baby.
W.
My phone's about to die, by the way, so add another thing to the list.
I can give you all a couple of insights on the racing here. If you see everybody go to the softs, that's an absolute suicide. Just don't.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you were doing.
I was trying to do the soft to hard strategy. I was going to run like 10 laps in the softs and go 18 on the hards. But,
goodness.
I don't know if you guys saw my incident in turn number 1, but yeah.
No, we only saw the fender of Jackson.
Tiger almost just ate it under caution. That would be
Oh, Luke. Oh, no.
Oh, my. What a drift. Tiger's insane.
That's what I'm saying. Tiger almost just ate it.
Tiger literally just Ken blocked it around that corner.
Hey, Big Jim.
Unreal. What up?
He's him.
Check DMs real quick. I'm going to send you a video of what happened in turn number 1 for me.
Oh, okay. Let's see it.
Yeah, and then you guys were asking what happened coming out the final corner. I had no traction because what happened in turn number 1, and I just smoked the wall.
Nice.
Yep, into turn 1. Oh, my.
I kept it up everything, too.
That was a moment.
Is the safety car in this lap? It looks like it.
And they are green off of turn 21. Oh, Darludo, that's big damage to electric blade. That is major damage.
Jackson Allman
does not seem too happy.
Is he bump drafting him? What the hell? Oh, my bad, sorry.
No, but we can see the damage to to electric blades Mercedes. He is off the pace by a lot.
Oh, Clay. I'm surprised he didn't get a time penalty there. He got the whole corner.
Oh, Clay didn't get a time penalty there.
I really like the strategy that Ecosplax is on. Starting on the hard compound, I'm pretty sure he's... Oh, around goes electric. Oh, no. Oh. But like I said, I really like the strategy he's on. He's probably going to do the hard to soft strategy, which I really like.
Yeah. I don't really like it, but I'm intrigued by Clay with his medium tire strategy here.
I think it's a really good strategy. I think it's going to pay dividends here, but right now he has 2 Red Bulls to contest with up front.
Well, the thing is, realistically, 18 laps on hards isn't you know, it's not too out of the
Oh no, it's not
box,
at all.
but
You could probably run the entire race on hards around here.
18 laps on mediums?
No, so not this on Clay's parade right here, and always Gary's, but I really don't like the idea of going to the mediums. The mediums are good for a bit, but then when you get into a certain range, they get a puncture so easily. If you get a puncture, your race is over.
And
Like,
even if they don't get a puncture, they're still going to be slower, so.
Yeah,
worn
those
mediums are
tires
actually
will get worn.
semi-quick, but it's a huge risk. They can puncture anywhere between 40% wear to up to 100%. It's just roll of the dice at that point.
That was a very nice overtake from Clay, by the way, on Jackson. Very clean and kind of expert.
It is. And Clay, I think Clay is thinking in his thought process behind this is he knows he's going to have to do something bold to beat Jackson this race, and he's going to have to do something bold to beat Jackson in the championship standings. So maybe this is it as he tries to make the move on Darludo. Looks like he's going to get launch
outside.
on those fresher medium
Side
tires.
by side.
I think he's going to try and outbrake him in this corner. Still.
Will he make the move to the inside? No, oh, big lockup from Darludo right there. Great run up exit though with the lockup. As a driver, I always get really nervous whenever you see that smoke coming out the rear ends of the tires up ahead of you. It just gets me real paranoid.
For sure. I'm also kind of interesting, you know, we're talking about this top three, but Tiger NASCAR, he's kind of just hanging around.
Yeah, don't push yourself too hard right now. You see those guys battling their tails off in front of you. Right now, just conserve your stuff a little bit.
Oh,
Marner just got disqualified
man.
due to doing a burnout on the track. You cannot do that.
Tiger looks like he has a little bit of a bobble
Hey,
there.
P12.
Yeah. Two more people will get disqualified and you're in points.
I should have had points last week. I had 10th, but I worked out. Big battle right now going on for... What position is that? That is for pretty much P1. They are all underneath the train right here. There's going to be a huge DRS train down the big straight rear. Everybody's snaking. Oh, man. This is one thing I love to see when they snake it. Oh, man.
Oh. The front.
Oh, side by side. Will he make the move?
Clay.
No.
Still not be able to get around him.
Oh, man.
And I'd be really worried if I were Clay. Not getting around those hard tires on those mediums.
Yeah, Darludo's not just on hard tires. He's on 13-lap old hard tires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Darludo's pace is unreal. I've raced with him in a couple other leagues. He has crazy pace. He can outgap you on, like, 13-lap old softs, and you're on fresh softs. And no, that's a commentator's curse. I'm so sorry, Darludo. Oh, more people. Clay's around. They both are. The front two went around in sequence.
And now here comes Jackson Ullman below Tiger NASCAR for the lead.
Tiger went to the lead for a split second there.
Still side by side.
It's been turn 18 and turn 8 that have been the biggest problems today. So many drivers have DNF'd off turn 18. I'm surprised that we did not see one there. Ecos ends up retiring in the pits due to rear wing damage, I assume, and another time penalty there for Electric. That is not good for him.
We only have 10 drivers on track right now, so unless you DNF, you're pretty much guaranteed points.
Only 4 of them without penalties.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I said a couple seconds ago, that's not the first time we saw a dual spin off that corner. Before, earlier in the race, we saw me and Porchy do it, and I believe another few did it. That corner's been real deadly so far today.
And you know, it could happen again.
Oh
It
yeah, for
actually
Very
sure.
well could happen
With the
again.
way, with the way they're battling, all four of them are underneath a blanket right now. If one car spins, the rest of them could easily go with.
I don't want to jinx it, but Jackson Ullman and Tiger NASCAR, I'm sure, going to battle here shortly, and they get too close in that corner, and with time penalty electric blade, that'll put Killer in a pretty good spot.
Look who's running in P5 too. It's always Gary. Really solid run from him so far today. Kept the car clean. He did a soft to medium trajectory. Probably go soft, medium, soft, which is not a terrible strategy. It's a good strategy.
Still think the strategy with the hards is best. Those guys, if you're the top four, you're ahead of the people like Gary on the mediums, but you're also not going to have to pit. So
I think these top four, or everybody that is on the hards right now, is really on their toes. These hard tires do not seem like they have much grip at all. We're seeing most drivers that are on the hard compound slotting off every single corner. And will Jackson make the move? He will not. Ooh, look at
but Killer
Killer.
does.
Yeah.
Killer into P3 now.
Yeah.
Alpine.
A lot of variation in teams here, by the way.
I was going to say,
the top four is everyone's different.
Mercedes and Alpine are looking for good runs, so this not just by Killer, but by Gary as well. Or no, is Gary's racing for a different team, isn't he? Gary's like, what team does Gary drive for?
Gary is racing for. I can't tell. He's racing for Williams. Yeah,
Williams. The entire top six.
field back to P8 is all different cars as we have, oh no, Clay's around again in the AlphaTauri. Oh man.
Don't look now, but Killer just set the fastest lap that time around, so.
On the hard tires too, wow. Look who's running in P7, Furchinger. He has strung up a couple solid runs in a row. And really impressed on how Furch has been driving recently.
Yeah, he's not the fastest guy in the league, but he's been stringing up points finishes lately, at least as he gets
and there's the commentator's curse back at it again. Oh my
goodness.
We all love Furch around here.
As we get
I love it when I'm playing Rocket League and he coughs in my ear.
Yet another DRS zone.
Yeah, that lead group has the distance between each other that they aren't close enough to make a move just yet. And I think that they're just content, just going to log some laps. Then around 4 to 3 to go, they can start making moves.
I don't know. Killer's got the fastest car on track right now. If I were him,
I think I'd push.
I'd be setting up on a move on Jackson right now and trying to push towards Tiger, yeah.
The problem is, too, you don't want to lose Tiger with the DRS. If you do, there's no chance you're getting them back because of around here, two cars battling each other so much slower compared to every other car on the track. If I were Killer, I would probably just stay back. I wouldn't cook my tires either. I would want to have the freshest tires on the track. But that's just in my opinion.
Don't look now, but Jackson Altman's still on the bumper of Tiger NASCAR, too.
Furch will come into the pits.
It's a pressure cooker, too, because these top three do not have penalties. They're actually racing for the positions they're racing for on track. It's not about staying 3 seconds ahead of somebody. It's about beating that person in front of you. Mm-hmm. Those guys are, if they make a mistake, that eliminates another guy from really race-winning contention.
Killer and Electric gotta start moving right here. They are getting close to falling out of DRS range. Electric Blade will luckily get in it even though he's a second above. I don't know how that worked, but they need to start pushing or they're going to lose DRS. Once you lose DRS here, you're done for.
Exactly, and Killer had a pretty good braking zone there, but gets loose on exit and loses a little bit of time. Still gains a 10th. In general, though.
Can we get a Clay update, Speed? Can we go back to Clay and see how he's doing? Because I want to see if he is
Clay
running the right pace.
is on the mediums. He's in P8. He's still Clay. He's gained a lot of time on electric. Gives me making a move on him, I would assume, pretty soon, with those medium tires being better at this point in the run, and also having DRS.
Cool.
That is not good for electric Blade. That pretty much puts him out of contention for this race. He has 6 seconds worth of time penalties now.
And not a lot of damage on Clay, and yeah, electric Blade, he has 6 seconds. I think Gary has 3. Logan has 3. Electric might have 6.
Logan has 6.
Yeah. Okay, Logan has 6. Electric has 3 or 6.
There is one person right now who is looking really good. Still is Clay. Clay, with all those guys with time penalties up ahead of him, he'll hop up to P6 right now if the race ended. So, I mean, he is looking really solid.
He had one of the fastest cars, it seemed, and he's still in championship contention, so he's pushing. He's definitely pushing and trying to get back up there. It's his teammate he's going to go around. Yep. Electric will hand it off to him and let him power down the straightaway.
Ooh! Furch and LD Allen get involved into each other. Furch and Allen have had a lot of collisions so far together today, seems like.
Tiger's still leading. He has a 6/10 a second lead, not able to break the DRS of Jackson, but still with a pretty comfortable, well, I won't say comfortable, but decent lead over the pack.
And it's only half a second. Jackson just set the fastest lap. I wouldn't call it comfortable.
Yeah, not comfortable. Not comfortable at all.
If I'm Tiger NASCAR, I'm standing up on my tippy toes and racing right now.
Oh yeah, sorry. I know I've been talking a lot, but it seems to be Electric Blade has spun out again, so he's not. He's going through a little bit of rough stretch right now.
It's okay, Kluka. This is much better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have to do this by myself as Gary gets another time penalty. And Killer gets one too. Beautiful scenes of glorious emotion. As Big
that
Jim,
pretty much puts the race down to Jackson and Tiger at this point.
As Big Jim
I would say ear. So, yeah.
Sentence I never thought I would say.
Both Tiger and Jackson on the exact same strategy. This Hard's got to be feeling a little bit slick right now. 10 laps on him. These guys are drifting a little bit.
If I trust any two drivers in the field to drive hards for this long, though, it's probably these two.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of scary, though, how long the hards can last. I bet you the hards only have like 10-20% wear on them, too. It seems like they wear a lot, but they don't. They just come out really slick, but yeah. They're probably the best tires in this game to use during a league race.
For sure.
I love how it is Ferrari versus Red Bull, and that's just coincidentally who's going at it in owners in the real world.
Yeah, and I mean, if Heredia had a better season, it might be the case here too, because Tiger's all of a sudden in the last few races starting to show, like I mentioned before the race, I mean, you heard me say it, he's starting to show the speed, but just hasn't quite put the finishes together. Finally, I think he's slowly starting to do that.
There's a steep learning curve to Formula One. This is not an easy game to be fast at, and Heredia has taken it on, and he's doing pretty good. I know that he didn't get the finish he wanted, but like you said, has shown speed, and he's quickly learning. He's learning the ropes of these Formula One cars.
If I'm Tiger, though, I'm starting to get really worried. Jackson Altman's went from 5/10 to 3, now back at 4, but still slowly edging closer.
I know there's time penalty for electric. But
Edging
like you
closer.
said, too, there, Big Jim, this game is a lot more difficult than NASCAR E5. You usually see some of the best NASCAR E5 drivers struggle at this game, but some of the best F1 drivers in this game struggle at NASCAR E5. They are two whole different beasts, really. It's big save right there for Jackson. That will help Tiger a ton.
Yeah, this is now taking Jackson Ullman out of the DRS momentarily.
Yeah, he's going to have to push here really hard to get back into that DRS, and Tiger's going to have to push hard to keep him out of that DRS.
As Killer pits for softs.
I like that strategy a lot.
It's a bold strategy.
I don't think these hards will last to the end. Killer's probably going for the fastest lap too, since this top two most likely will not be pitting.
Well, he knows regardless he's getting points and he has a time penalty, so why not try something, I guess.
So what goes in your mind if you're Tiger or Jackson right now? You just saw third place Killer hit pit road and take softs. You're still on those hards. This thing is becoming undrivable. Do you think about coming down and taking softs right now, or are you going to chance it and keep on those hards?
I stay out as long as I can and try to win the race.
Yeah.
If one pits, I stay out. If both of us stay out, I stay out. There's no reason for either of these two to pit right here, unless A, they get a time penalty, or B, they get a puncture. If not, they need to stay out right here, or they will not have a chance at winning. Because of pit road here, we saw you lose about 20 seconds, I would say. Mm-hmm. So then at that point, either Tiger or Jackson could muster home a win then.
And now we have 8 of 10 drivers with a time penalty.
Goodness. And ironically, the two guys without time penalties are the guys that have been dominating this final portion of the race.
Mm-hmm. Jackson Ullman back in DRS now, if he stays there.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Jackson to get back into DRS. You know both of these guys are pushing really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tiger! Tiger had a huge moment, giving the lead right back up to Jackson. Oh, man. The camera wasn't looking. I was on the broadcast camera. Did you catch up their speed or no?
Yeah, I did see from YouTube that he did get extremely loose, and a good save. He actually retook the lead. So Tiger is driving like a man possessed right now, taking the lead back from Jackson.
Yeah, I think Jackson's struggling with something right now. I don't know if he's completely good. He's not good on fuel. That's his problem. Jackson's saving fuel. You could see the red light still blinking on for fuel right now for him. That is not a good sign.
I've returned for the 5th time.
Yeah, but that's why Jackson's so far off the pace, and that's why he couldn't keep the lead from Tigers. He is probably, I would say, a tenth of a lap short, but that is so much in F1. And let me check Tiger. Yeah, Tiger's good to go.
Wow.
Yeah, but Speed, you missed Tiger almost spin, and Killer gets the fastest lap by a boatload.
Soft tires, baby.
He was actually almost 4 seconds quicker than their lap that time, maybe 5 seconds. There's a chance he might catch them. They have 5 to go. If he keeps up that pace, he could probably catch them.
I don't think he catches them, but he might get podium still.
Yeah, even if he catches them, remember, he has a 3-second time penalty. He has to make up 3 seconds on these guys to win the race, past just getting to their bumper.
Yes.
He has to get past them.
Hey, Speed.
What?
Since I'm not leading, could you go to Jackson real quick and turn on his telemetry?
Already have. His telemetry's been on all race. And I'm already looking at Jackson.
Alright. So as you guys seeing, when he goes down the long straights, he is lifting and coasting heading into the corners, which you never see in F1. You're gonna see it right here. He is on a hardcore save mode, as you see. Like I said, the red fuel button keeps coming on, which that is not a good sign for Jackson.
For sure.
Yeah, right there. You can see a little lift and coast.
He's able to stick. I mean, you'd never want to be the guy in second, but right now that might be preferable for him. He needs to save fuel. He has the slipstream, a little DRS to work with, so he can lift in the wake of that Ferrari. I think he might be able to save enough, but it's really, really close.
Yeah, this is one game, like NASCAR 5, you can muster home half a lap of fuel. That's not hard. This game, it takes a good 10 to 15 laps to save maybe a quarter to half a lap. But even if, you will be like a good 8 to 10 seconds off the pace. I don't know if Jackson was thinking there's going to be more safety cars or something, but this is not looking good for Jackson right now.
For sure, but if he can save the fuel, he's still in range if something happens.
Yeah, we already saw Tiger make a mistake earlier. It can happen. Tiger is human. He can make mistakes, and Jackson will be right there to capitalize because he is right in the shadow of Tiger.
Yeah, and Jackson, I'm kind of confused actually because Jackson's saving fuel, but still kind of maintaining, if not gaining, on Tiger at some corners here still.
Yeah, that's one thing with F1 is the short shift. You can see Tiger shift down the second off corner exit and stuff, but Jackson's not. Jackson's staying in fourth gear off those tight corners. He's trying to get the longer run up through the RPMs, which saves a bunch of fuel, and he's in the draft and has DRS from Tiger, so he's in a really solid spot right now for saving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew that or not. But.
No, I did. He's still only 0.3 off as well. 4, 5, okay, whatever. Jackson Altman, you want to just lose 0.3 while I'm saying that? That's fine. That's your race.
What Jackson might be doing here is he might be putting pressure on Tiger, seeing if he can get him to cut the course, make a mistake, look in his rear view a little too much. And if Tiger gets a 3-second penalty, Jackson can just back off a whole bunch. And then he'll be able to win the race just off of virtue of penalties.
I really don't think it's that. You can see at the end of every single straightaway, that fuel's turning to red. He's still not good on fuel. I don't think Jackson will be able to save enough. I think Tiger, if he keeps his car clean, like you said, if he keeps it on the track and doesn't get a time penalty, he has this race in the bag. Oh! Is that going to be... We're too late for a safety car, though. Oh, man, that's one lap too late.
Rest in peace to Furchinator. Not sure what he did. He probably went head on into the barrier. I wish we had a camera on that because I bet that was sick. But we didn't get to see it.
Oh yeah, this strategy of Killer ended up turning out really well. He's going to, if he does get up to third place, he'll get that extra point anyways.
Yeah, but
I really like that strategy, him coming down into pits for the softs.
He'd have to gain 7 seconds on Electric Blade in 2 laps, which is pretty hard.
No, he has 3 seconds less of time penalties, so he got to gain 4 seconds, and Electric could get a time penalty, so I mean, never got the picture.
It's still... It would require quite a bit.
Yeah. You can see the pace difference. Every single time Jackson's losing less and less fuel. He's going less saving. You can see at the end of every single straightaway, the past couple times he's been hitting it, but right when he enters onto the straightaway, his fuel's ticking red.
It's a shame, too, because he has saved a bunch of ERS.
Yeah, and he's going to have some more coming out of this Benny part of the track, so...
They are both identical on ERS, though, so I mean... I don't know, Jackson at this point, his best bet is to push, and if he does start to sputter, he can just hold off Tiger. But he needs to go now as we're coming around to 1 to go at the Cota. At Cota in HPL Season 3 F1.
Yeah, last lap. Jackson Ullman has the slipstream, has ERS. I think he's going full send now.
Ooh. He's going to have a good exit, though. Heading down through one of the toughest parts on the track right here, the S's. How much will he gain on Tiger? He gains a ton. No, he lost it a little bit.
Still within 3/10. Anything can happen.
He's not Red Bull versus Ferrari showdown right here. Half a lap remaining.
I think Tiger is when he's flashing red fuel, which means he's under a lap of fuel remaining.
We got under lap of go. I don't know.
He's gonna send it up into this corner right here. He needs to.
DRS is enabled.
Will he do it?
He dive bombs.
Oh, he's gonna try it.
Not quite there.
He's gotta try to make a move somewhere on his bumper.
Oh, he's trying.
Checking to the outside contact. Side by side.
He gets blown.
He's gonna make the move. Does he have enough fuel? That's the main question.
Try
they race. Both of them. Who's gonna gas it up? Jackson will. Does he have enough fuel to make it back? What a turn of events. Jackson, he's out of fuel too. He will win at Cota.
What a race. What a finish.
Oh my God. What just happened?
What?
That might be one of the craziest finishes I have probably ever seen for an F1 race, and I've done so many commentating F1 races before.
I think that was going to be looked at by the stewards.
I still don't know what happened. I can't see. It looked like the Red Bull and Ferrari did get into one another. Maybe the Ferrari just underestimated how much space he had to the back.
I think Jackson just put the right on him.
It's hard for me to tell. Regardless, what a finish. What a race. Reminded me a little bit. I'm not going to say a ton of, but Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, and AJ Allmendinger.
Well, if you guys could get, of course, Jackson and Tiger and Electric Blade in here, that would be awesome.
Yeah, Kluka, that's all you. I'm charging my phone.
I'm on my backup account, so I'll try my best. Who do we need?
We need Jackson, Tiger, and Electric Blade.
I can guarantee you Jackson. That's I can guarantee you.
You just have to search him. You don't have to.
Yeah, I can get you Tiger.
Alright, I got Jackson. Holy cow. And what's Electric Blade's username? Who's
Electric. And after that, I don't. I know
Electric Dash Blade.
It's Electric Blade 93X, from what I can see.
Alright. Do you want to start? What do you want to do? Do you want to do 3, 2, 1 for the podium?
I think that's a good idea.
We could do 3, 2, 1, but number 1's already in here, so if you want to just do it
we
that
can
way.
wait. We can do what I like to do in real life.
Alright, well.
Holy cow.
I guess Jackson just gets to sit here in silence.
Yes, he gets to hear all the other people talk about him.
Mm-hmm. And Tiger is now here and has to sit here in silence after what just happened. Jackson in the same party. And we're waiting on Electric as they were to come across the start finish line.
Oh my god.
I mean, you know, for someone that wasn't allowed to actually watch the race live, it was pretty entertaining. Gotta say, that was a good one.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to join Two Speed after I had my fatal wreck, but yeah.
No problem. I mean, when I'm in here alone, you know, if you DNF early, you can come here, and as long as you're willing to be professional and call the race as you would if you were in the booth, then fine by me.
Nothing but professionalism here.
Yeah, unless you're Big Jim, then you can get drunk and call Truck Series races whenever you please.
I wish I was drunk, brother.
Oh man.
There's Electric Blade and his Ravens logo. Now I hate him more.
Do you want me to start or do you want you to start? Speed?
Kluka, you can go right ahead if you want to.
Alrighty. Electric Blade, you had a strong day today, finishing in P3, even though having 2 time penalties. So how did you do it? You had a pretty quick car, though. I saw.
Basically got handed a podium because Killer pitted. And that's about it.
Alright, Speed, do you have any?
No, not any questions, but definitely good run by you still, regardless of how you got there. You got there and you held the spot, so congratulations on your podium, and hopefully you can get some more in the future.
Yeah, I'll echo that, Electric. I just want to say you are the real Electric in the league. No, I'm not gonna go that far, but I am gonna say congrats on the podium. And you say it was because Killer pitted, but you had speed all night long, and I think you earned that one. So congratulations.
Yep, thanks.
Alright, you want to send it up to Tiger?
Yeah, well, since we're getting crickets after that, I will. Tiger NASCAR.
You're the lead commentator.
We'll call it a controversial finish, but take us through your race and what's going through your mind right now after that finish.
Alright, so I'll tell you what I was gonna do. Alright, so on that weird right hand corner, I was gonna go, I guess, below Jackson, and then we were going side by side for that left kink. I was gonna cross him over, then I was gonna dive bomb him on the last corner and try to win. But unfortunately, I may have gotten my nose on that right rear corner, and it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, very well said. And any questions here, Jim, Kluka?
Let me start here because Speed said my name first, and I'm selfish like that. Tiger, good job tonight. I know that you wanted a little more out of your home Grand Prix, and I would say this is close to your home racetrack if Texas isn't. So I'm sorry you weren't able to get it done entirely, but you led a bunch of laps, had a fantastic run, and I just want to know that how is it racing Jackson there for the last 10, 12, 15 laps? It was fantastic to watch up in the booth, but I just want to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I knew the gap was pretty similar the entire time. Pretty much every corner of the racetrack had a specific time interval that I was aiming for, and there was a time where I got out of DRS, but then messed up and he got back in it. I knew he was going to come on the last lap, and I was trying to save everything I had, but I just didn't have enough at the end.
Yeah, it was brilliant stuff all race long from you, and congrats on your second place finish. Kluka, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. So, throughout me broadcasting F1 races for about a year now, I have never seen a finish like that. And so, could you run me through like the series of events that happened really right there? Like that was too much to take in from a broadcaster's perspective.
So pretty much after Killer had pitted, me and Jackson were kind of just not really working together, but just not wrecking each other. Honestly, we're not bad. Jackson, I think, was saving fuel, so I know that, but I was keeping a cushion for those laps. The last lap, Um, it's a battle of where you position the car, and I tried to do my best on that, and I was thinking about the corners ahead, and unfortunately, it just didn't really end out well for me there.
Alright, yeah, and I have one more question. With like 4 to go and you were about a second and a half ahead of Jackson, none of us saw really as commentators, but how loose did you get off turn 9 right there?
Turn 9, I don't know what corner that is, but
It's
yeah.
the left-hander off of the hill. S is the one where you almost spun off of. How loose did you get? We didn't see, so I'm just wondering.
It's a setup issue. These cars, especially at this track, you have to be a lot of downforce. And you do that with having a lot front wing and a little bit less on the rear wing. And so when you do that, your car has a lot of oversteer, especially on those high speed corners. And so it was pretty hard to control pretty much the entire section, but that time it just got a little bit too far out from me there.
Alright, yeah, thank you.
Well, now onto the race winner. Jackson, do you have a copy?
Yo.
Well,
Yes.
I honestly didn't think you had enough fuel to make it, and I especially was really worried about your fuel situation when you had to outgas Tiger NASCAR to win the race. Take us through that last lap and maybe some before the race before that as well.
Alright, so before the race, I thought there was gonna be like a bunch of safety cars, so I underfueled it by like a lap and a half. But through the first stint, I was just saving fuel the entire time. And then under the safety car, I'd saved like a lap and a half, but you were burning more fuel than like you actually had. So I had to keep it like just chill behind Tiger for the entire race. But then the last lap, I wasn't gonna have enough fuel to make it, so I decided to make a move, and that happened. But I actually ran out of fuel in the last corner.
Yeah, well, very well said. And regardless what your fuel situation was, you come across the line in P1. So congratulations to you on that, and another win. And I think with where Clay finished, that should put you pretty darn close, if not in the points lead again. So congrats on that too. But
Yeah, had to send my shooters out there to get them.
Oh,
since
man.
since Jim went first for Tiger, Kluka, any questions for Jackson?
Yeah, I have a couple. This is my first one. How much fuel did you have after you spun out when you fired the car back up? How many laps of fuel did you have left, by chance?
Negative .02.
Yeah, that was one hell of a job by you saving that fuel. I don't know how you made that thing to the finish.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And two, how were you able to keep up with Tiger too while you were saving fuel? I saw you were lifting and coasting a ton down the straightaways.
DRS.
Yeah.
Like once you're in the DRS, you can just
Yeah.
gain so much. And I think I was running more downforce than him, so in the corners I was able to gain a lot.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
helped with my tires.
yeah. Well, congrats on your win. You probably made the greatest finish in probably F1 League history happen right there, but good win.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that moves it over to me, Jackson. Congrats on the win, buddy. That was
Thanks.
that was a really crazy finish there, and I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that ever in Formula One, let alone Formula One 2022. So, thank you for blessing the audience with that. And I just have to ask, it looked like there was diverting strategy there at the beginning of the race. Some guys Clay started on hards. Y'all all started on mediums. How were you feeling going into that? Because it seemed like the rest of the field was opting mostly for the starting on the mediums there.
That's actually a funny story. So, before the race, and the race director, you can see what tires people are on, and like everyone was just on mediums. No one was on like hards that I saw, and I was gonna start on hards. And me and Clay are in a party every race, so like I asked him what he was starting on, and he started on hards, and I meant to start on hards, but like it was too late.
So it was accidental, is what you're telling me. This strategy was accidental.
Basically, if I knew that Clay and Porchi were starting on hards, I would have started on hards. But
Nice.
yeah, it kind of was accidental. It worked
Well,
out though.
as Master Uguay says, there are no accidents, and it was no accident that you were able to take the win tonight. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
Oh, very well said, I guess, if you don't have any more questions. Crickets.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm good.
Good. Alrighty then. Well, that'll just about do it for the F1 side of things. Treks next week in all things NASCAR related are in this regular season finale. Trucks, I don't remember where they're at, but I will check while I'm on the
Roval.
topic.
Roval.
Trucks are at the Roval, that is right.
Roval. Xfinity, Talladega,
Xfinity is
and Cup
that
Chicagoland.
Talladega and Cups at Chicagoland. Trucks start probably around 8:30, same time as normal. Might start a little bit later because I will be taking Wednesday off next week. Thursday starts 7:15, 7:30, same time as usual. Cup starts same time after. And Formula One action next week. We'll be back at it, and we are at Canada. We're in USA. We're at Cota. We're gonna go across the border up north towards me in Canada. The
Circuit de Villeneuve.
Yep. And that'll be at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern next Friday as well. But that'll do it here. I'm Speed. Jim was here. Kluka
Thanks.
was also here, but he's apparently too cool for school and also the outro. So, but that'll do it for us. So long and have a good weekend and happy Thanksgiving if you're from Canada.